Hello, in this video, I'll be solving equation involving involving fractions. So in the previous video, you were solving equation without fractions, but now we are dealing with fractions. So here's an example of an equation in fraction form, or they like to call it rational form. Y over 2 minus 1 equals y over 3 plus 1. So how would you solve for this one? It's pretty much the same steps for non-rational form or non-fraction form. The only difference is you got to get rid of the fraction by multiplying by multiplying all sides by the LCD. So yeah, let's talk over the steps for solving fractions involving steps for solving equations involving fractions. So just like the first step, just like I said, get rid of the fraction by multiplying all sides by the lowest common denominator. Step 2, simplify the left and right side by collecting like terms. Use order of operation if needed. Step 3, get all constant and all variables on one side. Step 4, solve for variable, check for extraneous solutions by plugging answer into original equations. So if you need help or if you need to review how to find the lowest common denominator, you should check out the video where I should make a video out of lowest common denominator. So um, if you need to review that because yeah. So let's start with example 1. Solve each equation, check for extraneous solutions. So step 1 is we have negative 2/3 x plus 8 equals 0. So the first step is get rid of the fraction by multiplying everything by the LCD. So what is our LCD? So on this we have exactly 3 sides. This is one side, this is another, and then this is another, right? So on this bottom side, we have a 3. On this side, this 8 has a denominator 1. This 0, believe it or not, has a denominator 1. I'm going to do brackets. And what this bracket means is I'm going to multiply all sides. So what is my LCD? We have a 3, we have a 1, and a 1. So my LCD is 3 times 1, which is 3. Okay, so you're going to multiply all 3 sides by 3. So 3 times negative 2/3 x. Well, the 3's are the same on the top and bottom, so that's how I like think of it. So if you get confused, just write it out. So 3 times negative 2/3 x. See how the 3's are the same on the top and bottom? They cancel, so you're just left with negative 2x. Okay, let's use blue, right? So this would be negative 2x. Now keep on, now you have to do it to all sides, so do 3 times 8, that is 24. 3 times 0 is 0. Now that we got rid of the fractions, let's simplify the left side and right side. So on the left side right here, you can't really simplify it. On the right side, it's just 0, right? You can't do much. Negative 2x plus 24, you can't combine them, but yeah, we can't combine those as a letter. This is a non-letter, so you can't combine them. Then the next step is get all the constant on one side and get all the letters on one side. So I think I'm going to move this 24 to the right by subtracting 24 to both sides. So this cancels. So you're left with negative 2x equals negative 24. Okay, solve for x. So you're going to divide this by negative 2, divide this by negative 2. I get 12. Just because you have an answer doesn't mean it works. Check for extraneous solutions. So plug in 12 back into the original problem. So it's negative 2/3, replace x with 12 plus 8. And does that equal 0? So 12 times negative 2 is negative 24 over 3. Negative 24 over 3 is, oh my gosh, I forget. It's negative 8. So does this equal to 0? Yes. So this is their final solution. Okay. Let's move on. Example 2, solve each equation, check for extraneous solution. So on example 2, we have 6 minus 1/3 times d equals to 1/3 times d. So let's get rid of, first step is get rid of the fraction by multiplying everything by the LCD. So there's exactly 1, 2, there's 3 sides we have to focus on. Use the bracket, and what do you think our LCD is going to be? So over here we have a 1, over here we have a 3, and over here we have a 3. So on the bottom, I don't see anywhere else with a 1 on the bottom. So bring that down. Now the base 3, I do see a base 3 here and a base 3 there. So if you have a repeating base, what you do is pick the one with the highest power. So they're both to the 3 to the 1. It's just going to be 3 to the 1 or 3. Put it all together. 1 times 3 is 3. Okay, so we're going to multiply all 3 sides by 3. So 6 times 3 is 18. 3 times negative 1/3, it's just negative. So if you get lost, write it out. 3 times negative 1/3 d. The 3's cancels because they're the same on the top and bottom. So you're left with negative 1d. And then do on the further right, 3 times 1/3 d. So it's 3 times 1/3 d. The 3's cancel, so you're just left with d. Okay, so now you're left with 18 minus 1d equals d. Check if you can collect like terms before you start moving things around. The left side you really can. It's 18 minus 1d. And then on the right, it's just 1d. Okay, so let's get all the letters and all the constant on one side. So I'm going to add 1d here, add 1d to the right. This cancels. So you're left with 18 equals to 2d. Okay, solve for d. So I'm going to have to get rid of this 2, only the 2. So to do so, I'm going to divide both sides by 2. 18 divided by 2 is 9, and then you have a d. So d equals 9, let's check. So it's 6 minus 1/3 and replace d with 9 equals to 1/3 times 9. Negative 1/3 times 9 is negative 9 over 3, which is negative 3. 1/3 times 9, that's 9 divided by 3, which is 3. 6 minus 3 is 3, which is true. That means 9 is d. Okay, let's move on. Example 3 says solve each equation, check for extraneous solution. So we have 1/2 t minus 3 equals 1/4 t minus 9. So let's first get rid of the fraction by multiplying both sides by the LCD. So over here, this has a 2. Over here, this has a 1. Over here, this is a 4. Over here, this is a 1, right? So in order to find the LCD, make sure the numbers on the bottom are in the most primest form. So 2 is prime. This 1 is prime. This 4 is not prime. 4 can be broken down as 2 and 2, or I like to think of it as 2 square. I like it to put it in the most prime form because you'll see. And over here you have 1. Okay, so let's look at our bases. Let's look at our bottom numbers. So over here we have a base of 2. Do you see anywhere else with the base of 2 in the bottom? Yes, I see it right here. So when you have a repeating base, you just pick it, you pick the highest power. So that's why I like to put it in the most premise form. So between the 2, 1 and the 2 square, the highest power is 2 square. Okay. And then let's look at our other numbers. We have a 1 here and a 1 there. They both have a base of 1, but they're both to the power 1, so it's just 1 to the 1. Put it all together, 2 squared times 1, that's 4. Okay, so you're going to multiply all 3 sides by 4. So 4 times 1/2 t, if you get lost, just write it out. 4 times 1/2 t. 4 times 1/2 is 2, and then you have this t. So that's 2t. 4 times -3 is -12. 4 times 1/4 t. The 4's cancel, so you're left with t. 4 times -4 is -36. Right? 4 times -9, 4 times -9 is -36. Okay, and then we're supposed to, before, see if we can collect like terms on the left and right side. So on the left side, you have 2t minus 12, and then on the right side, you have t minus 36. On the left side, you can't combine like terms because this is a letter and this is a constant. On the right side, the same thing. This is a letter and this is a constant. You can't combine them. So what we're going to do is get all the letters on one side and all the constant. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do first. So I'm going to move this t to the left by subtracting t both sides, or 1t. So on the left, 2t minus 1t is t minus 12 equals to -36. Okay. On the right side, I'm going to have to add 12, right? I'm going to have to move it to the right by adding 12. So what is -36 plus 12? It is -24. Okay. Now we're going to check. So plug in -24 back into t. Okay. -24 times 1/2 is -12 minus 3. -24 times 1/4 is -6 minus 9. -6 minus 9 is -15. -12 minus 3 is -15. So it's true. Okay. I'm going to stop here. I'm going to do the part 2 or the other examples in another video. Thank you.